All right, let me check the feed. I want to start off by saying Prakata Yahweh, Prakata Yahweh Shai, Prakata Yahweh, Prakata Yahweh Shai, Prakata Yahweh, Prakata Yahweh Shai. All praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the elders apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations again to the whole elect out there. All right. um, I was originally just going through the YouTube world, all right, and also checking out different brothers' videos. You know, I also see that different brother videos are in the spirit, all in the same spirit, teaching the same thing. All right, other times, all right, the prophecies and things that's taking place, these are current events. All right, and one of the main things you see. Hold on, real fast. And one of the main things you see. Right. So one of the main things you see, all right, is things brewing out here on the streets of America, all right? The tensions, and which, this past week, in the past videos, brothers been teaching about that same thing, all right? Even on the camp day, all right? And to keep that going because of the times, all right, sometimes it's like the truth. You constantly push the same thing based on what's going on, all right? And like I say, one of the things I see, even when I check out the news, man. All right. I was checking out this one thing. You brothers out there, you can go pick it up. This is dude Stephen Miller. All right. One thing, him and a couple other would it be DHS? I think that lady Christy Noel. They pushing that the domestic tea, if you know what I mean. All right. They've been pushing that hard. Anybody that films videotapes, law enforcement, ICE, whoever, or even practically be at a protest, you kind of, they'll deem you a domestic T. So we also see that the times of persecution, all right, or they brought up like speaking against, the government or speaking against certain events that take place, they deem you a domestic T. And they've been slinging that word around. Like I said, the first one I heard from the guy, Stephen Miller, right? And the next one was from this lady here. I played the video too, right? But also, I'm gonna get into
individuals showed up to impede a law enforcement operation and assaulted our officers. They responded according to their training and took action to defend the officer's life and those of the public around him. And I don't know of any peaceful protester that shows up with a gun and ammunition rather than a sign. This is a violent riot when you have someone showing up with weapons and are using them to assault law enforcement officers. When you perpetuate violence against a government because of ideological reasons and for reasons to resist and perpetuate violence, that is the definition of domestic terrorism. This individual who came with weapons and ammunition to stop a law enforcement operation of federal law enforcement officers committed an act of domestic terrorism. That's the facts. This individual show.
And you see, and there's other videos out there. They constantly keep pushing that on the news, man. All right, that domestic T word. All right, well, she said it. All right, and like I said, in this video that I played was only for educational purposes only. All right, because I wanted to show it, but due to the YouTube world and how they've been lately, all right, that's all I pushed the audio. All right, but the main thing, because we know Esau likes to play on words. He's a wizard with those words and how he switches up the intensity of those words to play on the people's minds, man. All right, but the one thing we can say, all right, for the times that we're in, we have warned you. All right, start with the apostles and the different men out there that's on the highways and byways teaching. All right, teaching the truth and the sound doctrine of the Bible. We have warned you. All right, what's to come? Like I just made that one video. All right, this is your America. All right, this is the time that we're in. All right, they're pushing that police state. All right, but I want to get this scripture here. It made me think about one brother video I watched. All right, we have warned you, man. This is Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 1. It says, again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, when I bring a sword on the land, if the people of the land take not, if the people, my bad, if the people of the land take a man of the coast and set him for thy watchman, if when he see the sword come upon the land and blow the trumpet and warn the people, which that's what we're doing. All right. We're blowing this trumpet, all right, to warn you of the signs of the times to come. All right. But the most of you don't take heed, man. All right. Most of you, like I got certain family members or friends, they only want to get serious or look forward to getting serious unless it's things happening. All right. And somebody I know from high school, they up there in Minnesota and trying to move out because of how chaotic it is, man. All right. But you heard this before. All right. You heard, whether be directly from myself, because I know you are, maybe it been another brother from another city. All right. State. You overheard this. All right. You've been warned though, man. It goes on to say, and if when he seeth the sword and come up unto the land and blow the trumpet and warn the people, then whosoever heard the sound of the trumpet and take it not warning, if that sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. All right, because you've been warned. All right, the men of the Lord blow the trumpet. All right, teaching and preaching these scriptures unto you. All right, and but you take not heed. That's on you. All right, when the deal goes down. All right, but it goes on to say, he heard the sound of the trumpet and take not warning, his blood shall be upon him. But he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul. But if the watchman see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, all right, that's a guy that's not warning the people at all, right? But it says, and the people be not warned, if that sword come and take any persons from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity. All right, and he has blood, my bad, but his blood will I require at the watchman's hand. You see, and that's why we teach and do what we do, man. All right, because we don't want your blood up on our hands. That's why we go out and warn you, all right, of the times and what you're seeing. Things shaping and taking place here in America, all right, is like back then, I can remember the apostles teaching on 34th and Broadway, all right, of of martial law, man. All right, warlike times, and that's what you're seeing. All right, we told you over the years of different police, the way they're addressing the way how things has changed. All right, we have brought out years ago. All right, different U.S. codes. All right, going back over there was old 2009 with Barack Obama. All right, President brought out all sorts of information. That's on you to go look it up. All right, the NDA Act. All right, the Patriot Acts. All right, all that, man. Now you're seeing everything take shape. The J Helm. All right, where they was training for close quarter combat, urban combat. All right, and that's for you. All right, that's for you 2/3 out there. That's for you patriotic Edomites. And as you can see, what happened up there in Minnesota, they clapping Edomites now, man. All right, and we all know too, this thing's a psyop, a possible psyop. All right, it's order out of KO. But you seeing how this thing is taking shape in America. All right, it's going down. All right, let me see. Is there any more? Yeah, I got a little more. It says, so verse 7. So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman upon thy house of Israel. Therefore shall thou shalt hear the word at my mouth and warn them for me. When I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die if thou doest not speak to warn the wicked from his way, That wicked man should die of his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thy hand. All right. It says, nevertheless, if thou warn the wicked of his way to turn from it, all right, if he do not turn from it, from his way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou shalt deliver thy soul. And that's why we teach, man. All right. That's why we preach and teach these scriptures the way we do. All right, and go out so consistently. All right, to make sure the blood is off our hands. But we see, all right, the hammer's coming down. All right, we see how things are shaping and taking place here. All right, but 2/3 don't. All right, that's why on a constant basis, I believe it's like what 8. Jake is like 8 times more likely to be killed by a cop, or the ultimately just to be killed here, man. All right, that's why a lot of you Jakes are out there. You getting smoked, man. All right, whether it be by law enforcement or just a regular Edomite. 2/3 of you are not going to learn. All right, and that consists of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. All right, the hammer is coming down. The Lord is ultimately bringing judgment, man. I got this other scripture too. This is Jeremiah chapter 5. I get to the point right here. Jeremiah chapter 5 and 6, it says, wherefore a lion out of the forest shall slay him, and a wolf of the evenings shall spoil them. A leopard shall watch over their cities, because my bad. Every one that goeth out thence shall be torn to pieces, because their transgressions are many, and their backsliding are increased. And that goes for you, Jake. That's why the Lord is bringing down judgment and destruction on you, all right? In these cities and wherever you be at, all right? Because of your transgressions. 2/3 don't want to get right, man. And that goes for the whole house of Israel. That's why the Lord is allowing things to take place here in America at a rapid pace, all right? And as we see, things are even more speeding up. Now I'm going to read that again. Things are more or less speeding up. All right. It's so much talking about it now. Not only just saying that, calling people the domestic T word. There's so much talking about putting down. Hold on. They're talking about introducing the Insurrection Act, man. After the Insurrection Act, what happens? Martial law happens, man. All right. But it goes on and says, wherefore Jeremiah 5 and 6. Wherefore a lion out of the woods shall slay them, and a wolf of the evening shall spoil them. A leopard shall watch over their cities. Every one that goeth out thence shall be torn in pieces. And that's why you Jakes are getting jacked up out here, man. Because their transgressions are many, and their backslidings are increased. And that's why like I said, that's why the Lord is doing what he's doing. And we don't feel no type of way. You saying that, hey, man, and not just in Minnesota, but like I said, I was telling them brothers, they're just me speaking as a man, locker room talk. I think things are gonna really bust out the seams when it comes down to around summertime, man. If we have that, if we even make it a summer, shit, because it's getting hot now. And we see, Apostle Tahar deemed this year the apostates, all right, sellouts, and spies, man. Roughly paraphrasing, and things are happening. All right, I might skip this one, but I'm gonna get this scripture here. All right, but this is all right. This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 16, verse 68. It says, for behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. All right. Which we bring this scripture out time and time again, man. All right. To warn you Jakes out there, all right, of the times. All right. It's all out tension out here on these streets, man. All right. People are bugging out. I'm hearing I heard some other people out here were talking about, which I looked it up too, is a possible government shutdown. So people are spooking even more. You hearing people over talking about, well, if a government shutdown, will that stop ICE? No, they're gonna still roll and do their thing, man. Because that's what everybody worried about now, man. Whether ICE is gonna still be doing their rollouts, man, because they put it out there as a deterrent. That's what they're doing that for, man. Clapping Edomites and shit. They're putting it out as a deterrent of what happens when you come up and play with us, man. All right. On top of other laws to give them immunity, you know. But hey, we told you so. You don't need to spook. You don't need to call and worry now. We told you so. Going back to when the apostles hit the scene, all right, and gave the first wave of brothers out there gave us that warning, and we took heed, man. All right, we took heed, and we pretty much, far as Yahweh Bashan shot, we got in line. All right, that's why we're teaching and preaching and doing what we're doing now. But but for the bulk of the people out there, it's still what the scripture says. Let me see if I can find it. What the scripture is. Let's see if I can find it. No, that's not it. One of you brothers out there, roughly paraphrase that one that says, "We are piped unto them; they have not danced." I might can find it. Let me see, man. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, this is Matthew chapter 11, verse 17, and it says, "In saying, we have piped unto you, and you have not danced. We have mourned unto you, and you have not lamented." All right. So we didn't, as a prophets, man, we have done everything that we can possibly do. All right, to get you down with the program, but you have not. You ain't gotten down with this song, man. All right, this is a beautiful, precious song, a very harmonizing song that we're singing. All right, but we know that 2/3 are not going to get down with this song, man. All right, they're not going to get in line with Yahweh Bashan Shah. That's why the Lord is allowing the hammer to come down, and what you're starting to hear too is Jake is dying in all sorts of gruesome other ways, man. House fires, wrecks, shootings, all right, all type of crazy shit, man. And it is, like I said, some of them is dudes like that was him on the news. Like, yeah, that was him. He died this particular way, but we been in our right mind, like, well, the Lord judged him, But hey, man, things are happening. All right, people are wigging out. Yeah, that's another good one that brother Quad put one on there. It's Proverbs chapter 6. My bad. Proverbs 1:24. It says, "Because I have called and ye refuse, I have stretched out my hand and no man regarded." All right. And what can you say when the Lord has practically put a GMS camp or the prophets in every state here in America, man? Just about every state. There's only a couple of states that I could think about, a couple of cities that I could think about that they don't have a GMS camp, man. But you have what? You have this internet though. You have this the urine and thermal, all right, and you have videos of brothers coming up. You might as well say, because now brothers are doing premiere videos that they didn't did, and they're posting up at whatever time. So, but you got almost a 24-hour onslaught of videos, man. This is another brother, Doctor from Beyond 144, Jeremiah 6:10. It says, "To whom shall I speak and give warning?" It says, that they may, my bad, jumped. That they may hear, behold, their ears are uncircumcised, and they cannot hearken. Behold, the words of the Lord is upon them, a reproach. It says, they that have no delight in it. Con. Yeah, so the warning is set forth, man. So now the warning is set by the prophets. Now the judgment is getting ready to come, man. And it's finna roll on you jakes, man. When I say you jakes, because that's a term, you know, that we say for short for Jacob. All right, but you jakes out there finna get rolled up on, man. And that's all the tribes, all right? This ain't just a one tribe thing. It's gonna be across the board. All right. It's gonna be across the board because, like I say, you was told so. Let me see if I can get this one. Yeah, I gotta finish this one. The second Ezra chapter 16, verse 68 says, "Behold, a burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle, with things offered unto idols." All right, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot. For there shall be in every place in the next city a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. They shall be like mad men. All right. And they talking about these troops, man. These guys, it's gonna be from Syria, Russia, all right, African nations, NATO nations, what have you. All right. And even you can see that half the damn ICE members out there, Northern Kingdom, man. Show you how they is, you know. But these gonna be troops. They're gonna be like madmen. The scripture says, man, and it says, "And shall spare none, but shall spoil and destroy those that fear the Lord." All right, for they shall waste away. My bad. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. What are your goods, man? Everything that you hold dear unto you, whatever that be. That may be your kids, your wife. All right. That may be your food, your raiment, you know, whatever it may be, man. They're gonna cast them out of your houses. Then it shall be known, all right, who are my chosen. Because in that day, all right, when this deal go down, man, the Lord gonna make it known, man. The Lord gonna make it. That's why the scripture says too that a man in that day should be as fine gold. And who that's gonna be? The Israelite man, all right, the elect. The elect men are gonna be like fine gold in that day. All right. And we can see it. We can see the final pieces taking place here. All right. And we can see also that these elites going to make their last dash push for their set new world order, man. All right. It said, and they shall be tried as gold is tried in the fire. That's why it says, "Here, O my beloved," which that goes into the elect. Said the Lord, "Behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same." All right. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for the Most High is your God. And that's all we have to hope for, man. That Yahweh Bashin Yahushua is going to deliver us out of this set trouble that's coming to take place, man. Going into Daniel's the 12th chapter, man. All right. I leave 1 and 2. All right. That's why it says the Most High should deliver you from the same. All right. Neither doubt. All right. And you brothers can't doubt, man. All right. We must go, like the scripture says too. You know, I always say that, but a lot of scriptures comes in my head. All right. The kingdom of heaven is set in a dangerous place. You got fire on one hand and you got a deep water on the other. We must go through this in order to get to the kingdom of heaven, man. So hey, bring it on. All right, bring it on. Let me check the comment board before I get out of here. Okay, the brother had put that. Okay. The brother Ayash. Second Ezra chapter 9 and 9. It says, "Then shall there be a pitiful case which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments." That's right, man. You're gonna dwell in torments, and the Lord's gonna laugh at you, man. You 2/3 out there when this thing go down. All right, because you have taken this as a joke. You have taken the men of the Lord as a joke and entertainment. And that's another conversation of itself. We amongst brothers down here this past week, we've been saying that and noticing that, man. You know, there's been another wave of Jake on the comment boards. Jake passing by in the cars, taking this as entertainment. This your intentions was to come to a particular parking lot or a park, and you see brothers. Your whole reason of coming to the park with your boo changed to where you want to take secret photos and laugh and play and giggle and like shit a game, man. Not knowing what we're saying, not knowing the importance of the prophecies that we're saying of the time to come. So hey, the joke is on you. All right, the joke is going to be on a lot of you guys out there, and you women. Okay, so with that, man, I wanted to keep it, straight to the point, man. I'm gonna end it right here and give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shah, Bashem, Kadash. Once again, the honor to my elders, the elders apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings and salutations out there to the hopeful elect and to the sincere. All right, and to you brothers on the comment board, Shalom, and a bow.